Yeah!
If you want to be a good rugby player, you've got to pass well. Yeah. If you want to be a good rugby player, you're going to learn how to grubble.
Yeah.
That easy. If you want to be on the rugby team, you have to know where your teammates are. Something like that. On the field, you always have to have one arm free. Watch these. Go. It's that easy. In rugby, you have to be good at your long passes. Something like this. Like that.
Yeah.
In rugby, you gotta know how to chase it. That easy. That's how it's done. In rugby, you gotta get the ball quickly out your territory when they kick it to you.
It's that easy. You know what? Just pick us.